There is no reason anymore not to run Windows 10 Pro retail version on your PC. Get it now, $12.50 only, instant delivery on a brand new secured web store. Welcome to the Skyrim Special Edition 2021 graphics tutorial, the 10-year anniversary edition, the most special and biggest graphics tutorial series we have done so far. And yeah, I think I pretty much explained the stuff about it already, why this is my last tutorial, and you've probably seen a showcase already. If not, you can still view this on this page. So yeah, I would say let's just quickly start ahead with this first part because we have a lot of stuff to do, and I would say let's just go ahead. That's by going to pretgallery.com. On there, when you click on tutorials, you will find this 2021 graphics tutorial. I don't have it in this menu yet because I'm currently creating it, and I will publish it once this tutorial has been published on YouTube. So yeah, here you'll find some general info. I'm not going to handle it right now. Make sure to read it. So yeah, that's I think what's pretty important to mention. There are a couple of things I would like to mention quickly. First of all, I got a ton of questions about an auto installer with Wabbajack. To be honest, I never really knew there was this program called Wabbajack, which allows you to have an auto installer program, which pretty much gets all the mods from Nexus Mods with APIs, if I'm not mistaken. I am currently investigating it, but it's pretty complicated from the modder side of view. So yeah, I don't really have an ETA for it, but I really will do my best to have an auto installer available, hopefully somewhere this year, I hope. But again, no promises on when exactly. So please note, I am working on it, but it's a little bit more complicated than it looks. Yeah, also here, as I said before, everything that has a beginning has an end. This will most likely be my last tutorial. I think 10 years of modding is a great milestone, and I think it's a great period to end the tutorial series. So if you missed that for some reason, this is probably my last tutorial, unless I stated here as well, no huge graphics changing mods will be released. And last but not least, yeah, I don't like e-begging, but if you like my tutorials over the years, then now might be a good time after 10 years to consider a small donation, because I always make sure to keep my stuff advertisement free on my website, so you never see any ads here, and always my tutorials will be free of charge, of course, but it would be nice if you know, if you would consider a small donation, but then again, absolutely not necessary, of course. Also, check out the Discord if there are any missing files. Also, you will find some great categories where you can share screenshots, ask questions, discuss the topics, etc., etc. So that's pretty much what I really wanted off of my chest before we're really going to start. Alright, so the end result video, if you missed that, and then the tutorial itself. Okay, this is important. We are going to use this Skyrim 2021 modding guide as our main reference. I've done that mostly with all my tutorials. I have one big tutorial which I use as a reference because I think they had done a great job already in summing up a lot of great mods, especially the essential mods, the stuff like Skyrim Script Extender, or the unofficial patches. All that stuff is very, very straightforward nowadays, and also the install order. So I took the advantage this time to follow a little bit this guide, Skyrim 2021 modding guide, but of course I don't think that those guides are 100% perfect. So I would say we're going to use about 80% from this great tutorial, and at the end I really think we need to install these mods, which are definitely recommended by me, and also we're going to drag and drop them in the correct load order. So there you have a little bit of an idea what we're going to do. So as a preparation, what do we need? First of all, we need a couple of shortcuts before we're going to do anything. First of all, make sure you have created a folder somewhere, doesn't matter where, preferably on a place where you have a lot of storage. where you create this folder to store our mods. And as you can see, I did download everything already because I had to test it, of course. But create a folder somewhere, name it something like Skyrim SE 2021, doesn't really matter. But this is going to be the folder where you're going to store and save your mods. What you also want is a shortcut to the Skyrim Special Edition main game folder, and that's in your Steam apps folder. So where you have installed Steam, Steam Apps Common, Skyrim Special Edition. I have to say we might uninstall the game in a couple of minutes, so you might want to wait a little bit with that. Depends on you, but again, we're come to that point. And also you want to have a shortcut to a folder somewhere, doesn't again matter that much, preferably where you have your Steam and Skyrim Special Edition installed, and name it something like mod tools, because we're going to install a couple of mod tools in there. What's pretty important, and I don't want to mention it after you are going to install everything, please do not install it in Program Files 86, because Windows doesn't really like it regarding with administrative rights. So please, also preferably not in Program Files. You create a program somewhere, a folder somewhere, name it Programs. I don't care what you name it, but don't install it in Program Files x86. Alright, so once you've done that, here's a bit of a point of no return. If you have never modded Skyrim Special Edition, an example, you have a fresh installed Windows, this is the first time you're installing the game, or you play for such a long time, but you really never ever modded your Skyrim Special Edition. That's great. That means you can start right away, and you can skip to the following part, which you see right now somewhere here, I think, in the video, to continue with that. For the ones who have modded their Skyrim Special Edition already, and this is something I do recommend every year, is to uninstall everything, start over fresh. Really, I know it's not really a nice thing to do, especially if you have a slow internet connection. For the ones who do have a slow internet connection and really don't want to reinstall their Skyrim Special Edition, check out this guide, and here you will see sorry, I have brain freeze. Here you will see how you can make your Skyrim Special Edition vanilla again, without having to completely uninstall and reinstall it. For the ones who have a pretty fast internet connection or are just really lazy like myself, I suggest you just going to completely uninstall everything, delete everything, and how to do that I'm going to show you right now. First of all, if you're using Nexus Mod Manager or Vortex, I strongly suggest you delete all the mods and delete the programs. Make sure to delete all the system files again, so it won't interfere with our new installation of Mod Organizer tool, which is the tool we're going to use. And yeah, to have a proper uninstall, I'm just going to start with uninstalling the game. So you can go to Library, go to Skyrim Special Edition, which for some reason is not at the S. I think it's at the T for the Elder Scrolls, if I'm not mistaken, and elsewhere just use the search bar, Skyrim Special Edition. Here it is. Right click on it and you can click Manage Uninstall the game. And again, this point of no return, if you really want to, if you don't want to reinstall everything, again, because you have a slow internet connection, make sure you follow that guide. Else, I'm going to uninstall everything. Then I want to go to my game folder, which is here, and I'm going to delete everything which is still left in here. And you can see these are data stuff from mods which could not be installed with Mod Organizer, EMB stuff, and some other screenshots, but I can delete them since I have them in my NVIDIA Shadowplay folder anyway. Alright, then this folder is pretty much empty. Where you also want to go is to your C drive, your My Users, your primary user, My Documents, My Games. Yeah, it's quite a long path. So here you can see it better in your users folder, your user which you're currently using, Documents, My Games, and delete Skyrim Special Edition in here. If you do have, if you have the Steam version, your save files will be saved anyway. If you're really unsure if it's going to work fine, you can create a backup now of your save games. But if you're using the Steam version, you're fine. It has cloud save, so that's all good. And here, make sure you delete Skyrim Special Edition as well. So, all right. To delete Mod Organizer and all that stuff, it's not that hard. You can just go to your folder where you have installed Mod Organizer or Mod Organizer 2, and you can delete Mod Organizer 2, just like that. It doesn't require an uninstall. And last but not least, what people sometimes forget to do, and what is the most important stuff to install from Mod Organizer 2, is the following. You want to go again to your users folder, your current Windows user, where you are installing your your Skyrim stuff and all your other stuff. And you want to go to this hidden folder, that's /appdata. And you want to go to local, and from here you want to go to Mod Organizer as well, because this is actually the hidden folder where Mod Organizer installs and manages all of its stuff. And as you can see, if we check the properties of this folder, it has all my installed mods here, so 74 gigabytes. That means if you do have a very small solid state drive, then please notice if you're going to install Mod Organizer on that folder, it's going to add up in size very, very fast when installing mods. And you might not first detect all that stuff because you have no idea how your SSD is becoming fuller and fuller. But that's probably because of this hidden folder where Mod Organizer manages all of its mods. So you can delete it as well, and it's probably going to say it's way too large for me in my case. And I think after we have done that, we have pretty much uninstalled everything just fine in a proper manner. And yeah, okay, awesome. And I'm going to empty my bin. It's going to take a little while because of the huge amount of files. All right, and once you've done that, you are pretty much safe. And I'm going to check if I have set something here, which I might have forgot. And create a folder, okay. Yeah, okay, this is what I handled already with you guys. So, all right, then what you can do now is it still taking that long? All right, awesome. Is reinstall Skyrim Special Edition again, because now you're pretty sure you're clean, and now you're pretty sure also if you reinstall Skyrim Special Edition that no other mods, files or mod organizers are interfering with our fresh installation of Skyrim Special Edition. Again, if you do have Nexus mods or any other program, which Vortex, that's the mod organizer I was looking for. Also make sure to check out your app data folder if those mod managers do not also save some of those hidden files, because that can also interfere with your modding experience. So I'm going to install Skyrim Special Edition. Again, I did create a folder, games, on my C drive, because again, please make sure you do not install it on your program files 86, which is the default folder. It can cause a lot of issues with administrative rights. Okay, click next. And then we're going to wait for it. And once it's finished, probably going to continue with everyone. That means also the guys who had a fresh install of Skyrim Special Edition and never modded their game. So install your Skyrim Special Edition, and then I'll see you guys in a little bit. So welcome back everyone who's following this tutorial. That includes the folks who already had their Skyrim Special Edition installed and never modded the game before, and the ones who made sure they cleaned everything to have a stable foundation. Everyone is back now here. What you want to do now is click on the play button after your Skyrim finished installing. For the ones who did reinstall it, click on options. It's probably going to ask you for the first time, it will detect the settings. Click OK. Click options. Make sure your resolution is correct, your quality is correct. You can set ultra, and check on advanced also to make sure everything is on the highest and ultra, because the game is already 10 years old and it doesn't recognize any new graphics cards anymore. An example, it didn't recognize my RTX 3080, so make sure to correct those settings. What you want to do then is click play. You want to start a new game to generate some files which are needed. So click new game, then the card sequence to Helgen will start. You don't have to watch all through that. Once you can, press escape and exit the game, because you'll probably see the Skyrim logo first, Bethesda presents, blah blah blah. Once that's done, feel free to press escape once you can to exit the game again, but that means we have started it once and some necessary files are being generated. So let's do that right now. Start your game once, then come back, and then I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, once you've done that, it is time to really start the modding now. By going back to the tutorial, and we are going to start by opening the modding guide 2021 if you have not done it already, because we're going to start there first. And I did completely forget it, but I would like to thank Dizio for this great modding guide 2021. It's a nice, also independent guide. Even if you wouldn't continue installing my mods, which I absolutely recommend, then this guide standalone would already be a very nice guide to follow. So thanks Dizio for doing that. I have to say I don't agree with every choice in this guide. That's the reason why you're probably watching my video as well. I think the game can become even prettier with these mods, especially the texture overalls, NPCs and hair. And I think there's some of them missing in this guide, so that's why I did add them as well in my own version, because yeah, I think they really improve the game when it comes to visuals. So yeah, let's go to the first category. If you haven't created a modding folder yet, do that right now. Again, create it somewhere where you can miss a lot of disk space, because I think everything will be, what is it, 100 gigs or something? No, that's not that bad. It's 50 gigs only. Where you can miss 50 gigs, but then again, also please take note that you're probably going to need at least double amount of space on your folder where you have installed Windows, Skyrim Special Edition, and you're going to install Mod Organizer. So this is fine to install this on an external normal hard drive, you know, that's what I've done as well. On my old 4 terabyte drive I still have in my PC. And if you want to, and I actually suggest you're going to create folders like these to have a better overview of everything, so you don't end up putting everything in a big pile of mods and files and you completely lose sight of everything. And so yeah, you can pause the video here if you want to create the folders I have right here. And also, when I do download files, I number everything in front of it. And the reason for that is, if you do not do this and you are going to Mod Organizer, you have really no idea what to install, because we have mod files, but also they have patch files, and sometimes the file name make no sense at all. So really absolutely recommend it to do it like this, but I'm going to help you guys on the way, don't worry. So first mods is when you go to the website of the 2021 modding guide, you go to root directory. The first mod is a very important one, Skyrim Script Extender. You want to right click on this, and this is the way how I always download mods. Right click, open up in a new tab, because then you can easily close it and come back to the main modding page. Skyrim Script Extender, you want the special edition build. Download this 7-zip archive, and again, download it in the first folder, which you have created probably now. And I number this first file 01 SKSE6401. Okay. Then you want to download the EMB. This is also pretty unique, because normally every guide, including myself, has placed EMB files the last on the bottom of the load order and the installation order, but there's actually no reason to do that, to be honest. The EMB doesn't really interfere with any files unless you are having some files which affect the EMB, change the EMB, but you know, it's yeah, it's no reason actually not to install it at the start, because this causes the most issues for you guys. There again, it's a good thing to install it first. So EMB, first we need some EMB core files, and what the EMB does is it will completely change the looks and add extra graphic effects. It's relatively small in file size, but it's a lot in adding extra graphics effects, and it can add the performance the most, I think, from all these mods. It's probably going to be the EMB. But again, now with today hardware, you are fine. You know, if you are running a GTX 1070, you know, this is going to be fine for your system. Everything right under it might still work for 1080p, but if you have a slower GPU than a 1060, yeah, be careful what you're going to install regarding 4K mods. But anyway, yeah, for the rest, if you have a 1070 or higher, and especially if you're playing a 1080p, you are fine. You know, you can install everything maximum quality. So the EMB core files, you can download the latest version here, 0.452. Let me check that for you. Yes, so EMB series 0.452. You can download that EMB core file as well. We're going to extract some files later on. Not going to do it right now. Let's first download everything from this root directory part. Then we want the Rudy EMB for Skyrim Special Edition. Yes, we're going to go with Rudy EMB. I have to say, EMBs are very personal when it comes to colors, effects, depth of field. Yeah, but I usually like Fireman AF's EMBs a lot. He's the author of Reengaged EMB, the best EMB, the most downloaded EMB, I should say, on Skyrim Special Edition. But this mod setup is pretty much based on Rudy EMB, and also there are some folders and some lighting mods which are, based on Rudy EMB. So, I would say let's just stick for Rudy EMB now. It's not a bad EMB. It's pretty good. Actually starting to like it more than I did a couple of years ago. So, okay, let's go for Rudy EMB. For Cathedral Weathers, that's important. That's a weather mod we're going to install later on. You can download Rudy EMB Special Edition for Cathedral Weathers, and it's going to be named something like that here as well. It might be that you guys have some newer versions on some files than I have, but I will make sure to keep an eye out for that. So, all right, we can close this stuff. And the last thing is this. You need the root for Skyrim 2021, and this is actually hosted on this site itself. But the thing is, if you click on files, every column here will be closed again, every drop-down menu. So what I usually do is just duplicate the tab and then go to files and download the what was it again? The root for Skyrim 2021, which should be somewhere here, I guess. Yeah, root Skyrim 2021, and you can download this manually as well, and then just also save it in the root and directory files. All right, then we need to do a couple of things with those files, of course. I think what a good idea is to open your Skyrim Special Edition folder, the shortcut to it. So you come to your Steam folder, Steam Apps Common Skyrim Special Edition. Have this open because we're going to need to drag and drop some files in there. The files we're going to install here right now are an exception of everything else in the tutorial, because everything else is pretty much manageable with Mod Organizer 2, and that is a lot easier and faster actually. But now, unfortunately, we don't have a choice. We have to install this manually. All right, what I usually do with Windows 10 is just drag and drop one window and just click on the other one, which I would like to manage files with. Maybe let's just set this to list or normal icons, maybe this one as well, normal icons. So first mod, let's open it up. It's a compressed file, so you might open it now in WinZip, WinRAR, I don't know. Open it, and you want to drag and drop everything in your main game folder. So Skyrim Special Edition, where your executable is as well. Just drag and drop it here. It will probably overwrite some stuff, or maybe not. Nope, it does not. Okay, that's fine. All right, that works fine. Then the EMB files, open up the archive with the program you have, WinZip, WinRAR, WinAce, doesn't matter. Open up this folder, wrapper version, and you only want to copy these two files, D3 D11.dll and D3 decompiler _46e.dll. You can just drag them in the main game folder as well, and then close this. Then we have Rudy EMB. You can also open this. Let's see. To be honest, I am not super familiar anymore with the file structure from here, so I have to check this myself, how that works for Rudy EMB. Rudy EMB, open, okay. Open the archive, open Rudy EMB for SSE, open the folder Cathedral Weathers weather version, open Skyrim SE folder. Okay, so let's check that before we're going to, okay, that's in here then. Yeah, okay, there are just some EMB files. Okay, that's fine. All right, we can drag and drop them in here as well. So let's do that right now. All right, so then you have these folders here as well, EMB series and all the other stuff we did download already. The last folder, I don't have much experience with this either. Drag all files from archive, select replace files. Okay, and so drag all the files from your desktop. Oh yeah, he originally stated that you put everything in a different folder first, but that's all right. Not needed. We're going to do it like this. That's fine. So yeah, we can just drag and drop everything from here in our Skyrim Special Edition main game folder, and it will overwrite some stuff. Sure, go ahead. And let's see, I think that's pretty much it so far for this section. Yeah, yeah, I would say let's close this part for now, else it will be too long. Yeah, this was pretty much an brain freeze again. a way to have a clean foundation on, to make sure you have a stable foundation, I should say, to have all your mods installed for Skyrim Special Edition. So we didn't really do that much in terms of modding so far, but we have installed the most important ones, in my opinion, the Skyrim Script Extender and the ENB. So I would say let's wait a little bit with starting your game until we have Mod Organizer installed. So I hope to see you guys at the next part of this 2021 tutorial.